All right, we're going to talk about solving systems of equations this unit. And we're going to start by doing it by solving them by graphing. So how you do it is by graphing is actually not all that challenging in that you just graph each line and you find their intersection point. So let's graph these two equations. So our first one, negative 4x minus 8y equals 8. So I want to graph that. So to graph it, I want it to be in slope-intercept form. So I want to know my slope and my y-intercept. So remember, slope is negative a over b, because these are both in standard form. They're both in ax plus by equals c form. So negative a over b, that would be negative 4 over negative 8. So when that happens, the two negative signs cancel. So this is 4 over negative 8, which would simplify to negative 1/2. So my slope is negative 1/2. My y-intercept, remember, is c divided by b. So that would be negative 8, or hold on, sorry about that. That would be 8 divided by negative 8, which would be negative 1. So if I wrote this in slope-intercept form, it would be y equals my slope, negative 1/2, x minus 1. And I can come graph that on my coordinate plane. I can put a point at negative 1 on the y-axis, because that's my y-intercept. Then my slope, negative 1/2, that's down 1, right 2. Down 1, oh, I messed up. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, keep going. I can also do the opposite, up 1, left 2. And I can connect them with as straight of a line as I can draw. So that's the first equation. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. Change my color so they're different colors. So I've got 4x plus 2y equals 4. This is in standard form. So I'm going to do the same thing. Negative a over b would be negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. So my slope is negative 2. My y-intercept, c divided by b, that would be 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So this equation is y equals negative 2x plus 2. My slope is negative 2. My y-intercept was 2. So I'm going to graph this one. My y-intercept is 2, so I put a point at 2. My slope is negative 2, so that's down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. You can see we found our intersection. Down 2, right 1. Keep going. Do the opposite, up 2, left 1. Up 2, left 1. Connect them all with a line that is not as straight as I would like it, but it will work. And we can see that, I know my lines aren't perfect, but we can see that it clearly intersects at 2, negative 2. And that would be the answer to this. When you're solving a system of equations, when you're solving two equations together at the same time, your answer is going to be an ordered pair. You're going to get an x coordinate and a y coordinate. All right, so let's do a couple more here. Let's do this one. Negative 9x plus 3y equals negative 6. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to find my slope and my y-intercept. My slope would be, remember, negative a over b. So negative 9 over 3, which is really 9 over 3, which is just 3. My y-intercept is c over b, which would be negative 6 over 3, which is negative 2. So my equation would be y equals 3x minus 2. And I can graph that. 2 is my y, negative 2 is my y-intercept. My slope, up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1. I can also go down 3, left 1, down 3, left 1. Connect them all with a line, and we have graphed that one. I'll switch colors for the next one. So we got 10x minus 5y equals 0. So for slope would be negative 10 over negative 5, negative a over b. So that would just be 2. Y-intercept would be 0 over negative 5, which is just 0. So my equation is y equals 2x. I could put a plus 0, but I don't need to. So my y-intercept is 0, so I put a point at 0. My slope is 2. So that's up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. Oh, I found my intersection point, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1. So these lines are very similar to each other. I can also go down 2, left 1. You can see they're very close to each other. They're not parallel, though, because they do intersect. And our answer here was these intersected at 2, 4. So 2, 4 is our solution for this one. Okay, let's do another. So graph each equation, determine their intersection point. So negative x plus 3y equals 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to go negative a over b for the slope. So that would be negative 1 over 3, which would just be 1/3. The y-intercept, remember, is c over b. So that'd be 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So to graph this would be y equals 1/3 x plus 2. So I'm going to put a point at 2. My slope is 1/3, so up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3. Also do the opposite, down 1, left 3, down 1, left 3, down 1, left 3. I can connect them all with a line. All right, now this one gets a little interesting. If I can get a different color here. So for this one, our problem is, so we did our slope, negative a over b, so negative 5 over 10, that would simplify to negative 1/2. Our problem is our y-intercept, c divided by b, that's negative 5 divided by 10, and the problem with that is that's negative 1/2. Our y-intercept is negative 1/2, and we can't really graph on a coordinate plane with halves, not well anyway. So my problem is I've only got one piece of information that I can use to graph. I've only got my slope. I know negative 1/2 is my slope. So if I were to write this, it would be y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1/2. So my problem is I've only got a slope. And remember, to graph, we need more than a slope. We need a slope and a point, whether it's with the y-intercept or just a point. What about, we did learn how to find the x-intercept, if you remember. The x-intercept is c divided by a. If I did that, that would be negative 5 divided by 5, which is negative 1. So that's a point. Remember, the x-intercept is a point on the x-axis. That would be negative 1, 0. So I could actually graph this. I could put a point at negative 1, 0 on the x-axis because I've got my x-intercept. And then I can use my slope, which was, remember, negative 1/2, which was down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. I do the opposite, up 1, left 2, and look at that. I found my intersection point. So this one was a little tricky in that when we went to slope-intercept form, we actually couldn't graph it because our y-intercept was a fraction. So we needed to find another way to get a point. And we did that by finding the x-intercept, and we were able to graph it that way. And we were able to see that negative 3, 1 is the solution. That is where those two lines intersect. All right, let's do one more. Y equals 6. So this one we can just graph. Y equals 6. We know that that is a horizontal line that crosses the y-axis at 6. So I can graph it just like that. So now the other one, that one I'm going to figure out the slope and the y-intercept. So I would do negative a over b for the slope, so negative 3 over 1, which would be 3 over 1, which is just 3. My y-intercept would be c divided by b, which would be 0 divided by 1, which is just 0. So I wrote this equation, it's just y equals 3x. Now I could put y equals 3x plus 0, but I don't need that plus 0. So my y-intercept is 0. My slope is 3 over 1, so up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, and there is my intersection point. Up 3, right 1. I also can go down 3, left 1, down 3 left 1. All right, and that is it. Oh, I didn't write our answer. Sorry, hold on. Our answer would be 2, 6. That is what I just almost did there is a common mistake. I see people graph the 2 lines, they find the intersection, and they don't actually write the answer. The answer is the order of pair. You got to write that down. So 2, 6. And that is it for this lesson.